And I'm going to wait and see if we're live. All right, we are currently live. So let me go over here. So, hey, YouTuber fans, streaming fans, cryptocurrency fans, it's your boy Britt VR. Welcome to the show. Today I got Kev Crypto Channel. I shouldn't call you Crypto Channel. That's kind of weird. But we have Kevin. He has a great channel for cryptocurrency mining. I started watching you, Kev, maybe like 2 months ago. You popped up on my what do you call it? My scroll page, my page where you go on YouTube and
Yeah, the home
know
page.
yeah what pops up. You popped up there, and I started watching your channel, and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. So I think I contacted you in a live. You had a live
I
show.
think it was like 2 weeks ago or something. Maybe you
Mm-hmm.
contacted me, and because we're in different time zones, we kept missing each other.
Yeah.
We're missing each other at first. Yeah, I think it was a live stream that you said we should do a live talk or something. So finally we finally got a chance to talk. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for
Uh,
yeah. The time is. You said I'm 6 hours behind
six
you.
six yeah 6 hours. That's actually not too bad because I've chatted to some people and they're like 8 hours or 10 hours, and
Mm.
you agree to a time and then you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to do a stream at 1 in the morning. You know, it just doesn't work out. Yeah, my YouTube channel, I honestly like, my full name is Kevin Muldoon, but I've got another YouTube channel where I talk about like microphones and
Okay.
phones and technology. And then I think I was going to call it, what was it? I was going to call it something else, like Kev's Crypto or something. And I did a 2 second search, and there was like 10 channels called that. So I just went, okay, Kev's Crypto channel, and then I always thought that I should change it at one point down the line. So I don't know, maybe I will down the line and change it.
Okay. Um, Let me see if anybody came on yet. Let me go on my phone and check, guys.
Yeah, I think Brazil's in the house. JC, by the looks of it.
Say it again.
JC has left a comment.
JC.
Yeah.
I'm confused. Oh,
And
you
you're
said,
commenting there. Is that what you're
I'm
looking at there?
sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I heard. Let me see if I can. I don't see if I'm live. Well, it's up there somewhere. But I just want to make sure everybody can hear us. So you can see the live chat, Kevin?
Yeah, I can see on YouTube. I was actually just going to send a tweet about it if I can find your channel.
Okay.
I don't know why. I've got this bizarre problem with Windows. Whenever there's a Windows update, Twitter stops working, and I need to update and then reinstall it. I don't know why. I still haven't worked out what is going on.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
see it. I can see it now. Okay.
I'm trying to do
Yeah,
it on
I'm
my
on the
phone
phone
now.
now. So you said JC. Okay, I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
JC, can you hear us well?
In fact, hold on 2 seconds now. I think it sounds okay.
Yeah, it seems okay. I think you hear as well because I I just want to make sure I don't have a problem because I was shooting a live video with a guy who came out with a project on the EOS blockchain, and
Right.
it's more like it was a signature platform where you have documents and you put your signature on it, you ship it out to whoever, and you own it through the private key. So you own the document through a private key, and it was kind of creative, but
Yeah, that's
nobody
pretty
could
cool.
hear it.
Right, okay.
So I just want
That is one of the most annoying things of YouTube. But I did a 30-minute video and then I went to edit it and then there was a mic problem. It was just like muffled sound. I was like, oh no.
to.
And the thing is, I hate doing videos again because if you do a long video, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you start talking and you start thinking, have I talked about this? Have I said this before?
Yeah.
Um,
So, Mike, let's get into it real quick. So, how many miners do you have? Like, I know you're a miner,
um, I've got 30 GPUs.
30
So
GPUs.
I've got 24 1060 6 gigabytes. I've got five 1080 Ti's on a rig, and I've got another one my main PC. The one on my main PC I switch off when I'm doing, when
Okay.
I'm using the computer. But when I'm away from the computer, I just activate it, and then I'm back up to 30 GPUs.
Now, which GPUs are they? AMD or NVIDIA? Oh, I can see your box. They look NVIDIA.
Yeah, they're all NVIDIA. Actually, when I first looked at it, I bought all my GPUs around December. I started doing it in December. I started looking in November, but around that time in the UK anyway, there was starting to become a shortage. You just couldn't find an AMD card. You really couldn't find it, and the AMD cards that should have been 400, 500 pounds in the UK, many of the retailers were selling them for like 1,000.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I just went to NVIDIA by default because of that. Oh, sorry, I'll get this. I'm going to send out this text if I can. Yeah, I'll just send that out. I really should have been more organised with that.
No, I should have been more organized.
That's all good.
Yeah, prices were up. They are down right now, but I'm thinking they're down because the 1100s are going to come out.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading about that, and I think, it's before there's an official announcement, you're just kind of basing it off rumours and hearsay and what someone says at a conference. I think a lot of people are saying the 1180 could be August or maybe September, but I believe for the 1160, 1180 Ti and all that, we could be talking 2019. I think. But until there's an official announcement, you're just going by what the rumors are.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of articles about the fact that NVIDIA have too much stock. So they thought that everyone would keep buying GPUs, because of December, and so they produce more GPUs and there's less people buying them. So I believe they have this, I don't know if it's just factories full of GPUs. So it kind of makes sense to hold back to try and sell those GPUs and then release the next generation.
Man, I just wish they can hire me as a marketer or somebody for analytics in a crypto space, because they have to know these ASICs are out there, and they have to know that the power wattage is so short. I mean, not a large amount of power wattage to the new ASICs. So I just wish I can just have a. I wish I can be the fly on the wall and listen to what they're saying. And
it was kind of like, I found the whole thing last year was kind of bizarre and interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we'll see that again. I don't know if that was NVIDIA and AMD. If in the UK you had all these retailers, and I thought they were very hypocritical, because they would put up things like, what they would do is, when I first bought my 1060s, I was ordering like 12, 15 at a time. 1 month later, they started saying you're only allowed to order one. You're only, because there's such demand, you're only allowed to buy one. And they started putting banners saying we support gamers. But I always disagreed with that, because, well, I'm a gamer. I've got computer games everywhere in my room. But they were saying we support gamers. But at the same time, they were charging £1,000 for a £500 GPU and saying we support gamers. They weren't. They were gouging their customers. They were charging a lot more money. And computing companies that come out and say we support gamers as well, like Asus and all these other companies, have come out with motherboards for miners. They've come out with BIOS tweaks to allow people to add more than 4 GPUs as well. So they are saying, the computing companies, they've loved this situation. They've probably sold 2 or 3 times what they normally do. But it's kind of, I don't know if they've shot themselves in the foot, because if you look at, I don't know how much how many units they sold. I'm sure I could find that if I searched online. But they've sold a huge amount of GPUs, and when miners decide to sell them, they've had all this money. But when they start to sell them, the market will be flooded. And I'm not talking about, people like me and you that might have 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 GPUs. Think of these GPU farms that have got thousands of GPUs, and I have no doubt that some of these retailers just sold to them directly before. Or maybe even NVIDIA sold them directly before, like, yeah, you want to buy 100,000, there you go. Yeah. But what's going to happen when all these GPUs come out? And it's going to be very hard for them if you're a gamer and they do sell it in an 1180, but you can get a 1080 Ti for half the price or a third of the price, you're not going to buy the 1180. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting because, as you were mentioning there, with the ASIC miners, the crypto mining world is changing as well. So yeah, time will tell. I mean, I have looked at maybe selling my GPUs a couple of times just because the market was going down. I thought my GPUs were still okay price-wise, but then I've just kept them. I can't be bothered with the hassle, if I'm honest. You know,
they were planning on coming out with a separate miner just for mining cryptocurrencies, but it seems like that just went out the door as quickly as possible.
Well, that's why I don't understand why Nvidia didn't do that, because they could have come out with one which is the gaming edition, come out with one which is the mining edition, and it was perhaps restricted and couldn't do certain, you know, like the GPU mining PC, I can use it for gaming, I can use it for video editing, I can use it for mining, but for the other ones, all I need it for is mining. So they could have basically designed it like an FPGA almost. But there has been mining GPUs. I think AMD's released a few, or there's a few companies released AMD cards. But if you look at it, it really isn't value for money because it's like $50 or $100 less than the official version. And instead of getting a 2 years warranty, they give you like 30 days or 90 days, and you can only resell it to cryptocurrency miners. You can't sell it to gamers. So where's the incentive to buy it?
Yes.
You know, I'd rather buy a general purpose GPU that's, you know, my cards are went down in value, but I can still sell them. Whereas, you know, if it could only do mining, you know, my market is a little bit limited.
Yeah. I currently have a 6 rig. I was doing some more mining videos, but slowed them down a little bit. I have two 1080s, one 1070, two 1060s, and a 1050 Ti. So I was doing some mining videos where, you know, you can see the different cards and what the hash rates you were getting.
That's quite interesting because you get one of pretty much every generation. Well, not every generation, but every basically GPU right up the range from the low end to the high end.
Yeah, I don't have any TIs, so I don't have like a 1070 Ti or a 1080 Ti. But I have a good range to look at. I was thinking of adding a I don't know what do you call that. I want to add another GPU where I can, like, what do you call that when you can we can screw in the part to the side of the motherboard and you can put another PCIe on top of it.
Like GPU riser.
Yes. Well, it's I can put an extra riser on my motherboard to have, because right now I have 6 of them, 6 PCIe's hooked up to the risers. Actually, I think
I've got some here.
I think you call it. Are they called? Hold on, let me see. I think like.
Are you talking about these?
Is it M2? Not a full riser. But
all right, like an M2.
Yeah, M2. That's what I think. That's what they call it. M2.
Right, okay. Well, the M2 is like on my motherboard. I don't know if it's a manual center. On my motherboard, I've got 2 M2 slots.
Yeah.
One of the M2 slots is basically it adds an X1 slot, which I can then attach another GPU.
Yeah.
But the other one is my hard drive. I've got like a cheap ass. I think it's like 80 gigabytes or 60 gigabytes SSD. But yeah, I don't know which board you've got. It will have a specified number of M2 slots.
I bought it so long ago. I can't remember the name of it. It's an ASRock though. It's an ASRock. It's an ASRock. I think an ASRock BTC.
Yeah. I've seen some of those. Yeah, they've got a couple of mining boards out. There are some things you can do because you can buy like a PCI Express to, or there's actually someone showed me there's like an X1 card that adds 4 risers, and there's like a PCI Express that adds 4 M2 slots. There are some ways around it if your board doesn't have, you know, enough slots.
Yeah.
Mine's comes with 7 slots for GPU risers, but then I've got an M2 slot, so that's how I've got 8 there. Right, well, for the first 2 rigs, I've got 8.
Yeah, so I plan on doing that one day to add another graphics card. But I think it's a good time to add one because the prices are coming down. And
Yeah.
I did buy the ASIC Z9 Mini. So I actually
How's that going for you?
I didn't
And
get it
hindsight
yet.
after all
I,
that,
I didn't get it yet. I waited
no?
until the price went down to 850. Then I
Oh, right,
bought it.
okay.
So it comes in like late August. So I have to wait,
Right.
which is a
Yeah.
huge risk. That is a pretty big risk
Yeah.
because
I think there's always the risk with ASIC miners though, because I looked at buying one when the first batch was announced,
mhm.
and I think what was it, like 1650 or something around that, and then
Yeah.
you got $100 for the power supply. Yeah, so I looked at that point, but then at that point, if you looked at all the announcements, all the coins wanted to move, and you didn't know how many they were selling. There was no guarantee what the hash rate would be, and that there is an element of risk. In hindsight, I think the people that got those, in the first batch or so, or I think, what did they do though? Because I believe, was there not some early people who got the Z9 Mini, but then also got two because of what they paid, and then there was some others that got one plus a voucher.
Mm.
They kind of gave a deal to whoever ordered first. I think, well, the good announcement for you, Zcash I think it's been teased to be added to Coinbase. Coinbase came out with an official announcement it'll be added, so that at least gives you that coin. Zencash is still on it. You were talking about this before with me. Zencash and Bitcoin Private, and there's a few other coins on it. I hope, hopefully you'll make it. Hopefully you'll break even on it. I guess it's, you're paying the price of a 1080 Ti effectively to get it. And the funny thing is, a lot of people say, oh, if you don't break even, you have a doorstop and all that. But there's no guarantee for any GPU right now is going to break even either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. I keep coming. I'm going back and forth and changing my mind all the time as to what hardware to buy. I keep changing my mind because you start looking at all the figures and then you go, well, maybe I should just buy an ASIC, or maybe I should buy a second-hand GPU. It is quite hard. There's a lot of options just now as to what you do and what hardware you buy. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer as well. Everyone's making money in a different way.
Well, the main reason I waited because, like for you said, I didn't know if all of the equal hash major coins were going to move over, like Bitcoin Gold moved over to 411.5, I think that's what it was. But I didn't know if they're
1445.
Yeah, 144. Yeah.
Some of them are using a different one. It's like 1925, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Another one out there.
So I didn't know if the major coins were going to all move over. So I played the waiting game to see. I actually watched your video with Bitcoin Private, and that gave me incentive to go buy that Z9 Mini. So I was like, okay, if these guys are thinking like that, and then with Zcash, they decided to postpone to go ASIC resistance. I was like, okay, it's time to buy one. I got it at half price, so like you said, it would be buying 1080, and it was mainly due to the wattage, 300 watts, and if I overclock it, it'd probably be like 500 watts or 400 something watts.
But this is the thing: people are getting. Some people have been saying that they're getting like 16,000 sols from it. That's insane.
That's insane.
In perspective, I have 30 GPUs, and all of them running, I have a little less than 12,000 sols. That's insane. They're replacing like 10 to 12 to $13,000 worth of equipment with that one machine for the algorithm.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like, it's very tough for these coins to decide if they're going to become strictly GPU or let ASICs in, and it's hard because they have to think of the miners. If we can get something that's a little bit cheaper and less wattage, it's a benefit for us. But if you want to stay away from the control of the ASICs, you can, like, some coins had the double attacks, the double spinning attacks, and but there's
quite a few of them had it.
But on the other hand, your network would be so much secure if you have GPUs and ASICs on your algorithm. So You know, it's very tough. I'm happy I'm not in that position as a coin maker to make that decision.
The thing is, though, that I think Bitcoin Gold got a double spend attack.
Yeah.
I think Zencash did as well. But I mean, I remember looking at their blog posts warning people about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, who's to blame for that? Is it ASIC machines or is it NiceHash? Or, you know, I'm sure a lot of these attacks are coming from NiceHash. So there's actually a good argument, and someone could say perhaps they should be making coins NiceHash resistant rather than ASIC resistant. But a lot of the hash power that NiceHash is getting is coming from ASIC machines. I mean, I don't know. Like, I had a few people saying in videos, and they said, "Oh, why are you talking about ASICs? You're a GPU miner." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a GPU miner because I've bought GPUs, but at the end of the day, it's just silicon. It's just circuitry sitting over there. Whether it's an ASIC mining machine, an FPGA, or a GPU, it doesn't really matter to me. And if the market changes, then fine." I think the bigger problem is people have right now is that Bitmain, have most of the market. I saw an article they made. What was it? It was something crazy, like, was it 100 billion profit in 3 months or something? It's insane. Something like that. I might be quoting the wrong number, but it's around that. It's billions. But I'm a hypocrite. I am a complete hypocrite, and I think most people are in that. You throw your beliefs out the window when you're trying to make money, because I understand that Bitmain have got too much power, too much hash rate. But if you look at some of the other ASIC mining machines in the market, like in Silicon, you're paying more money and sometimes for less hash rate. And it just, if I was going to spend money just now, a few $1,000s, I would go to Bitmain. It seems to be I'll get more value for money. Again, that makes me part of the problem as well. Then, but at the end of the day, I'm not worrying about anyone else, and I think everyone else thinks the same though.
Yeah, they're coming out with an IPO, so they're trying to go public, and that's pretty huge. They're going to gain a lot of money out there, and they're going to become way more bigger once they do that on the stock market over there in China. Another thing, IBM. A lot of people haven't been talking about this, but IBM in the States are coming out with ASICs in the future. They've been testing and doing all their.
I've heard of Samsung getting involved next year, but I didn't know about IBM.
So huge players are coming into the market. We'll see who produces the better miner.
Well, that's the thing, and I mean, I guess if you're talking about decentralization and distributing, the hash rate and all that. Once we get Samsung and IBM and who knows who else, Google, Microsoft, or Dell. I mean, the idea is if every single person has got a miner in their house, then it's fairer. I think we're a long way away from that though, and I don't know. The market is changing so much in cryptocurrencies. See if you went away a holiday for a month and you come back, you'd have to read about 3 weeks, 4 weeks worth of articles to try and catch up. Things are changing so fast, and it's hard to keep up sometimes. It's because I'm sure you're the same. People will ask you where they see the market's going, and
you know what?
I mean, I've got an idea where things will go, but I've tried to predict trades. I've said this coin, it's positive news, the price should go up, and then it plummets. So I don't have a clue. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Well, I do swing trade. So
right.
Because I can't day trade. I'll have to sit at a computer all day. But I swing trade through maybe like 3 to 5 days. I make some trades on Bitcoin to USD just to gain more Satoshis. That's all I'm looking at right now, because if this ETF come out, everything's going to explode on Bitcoin. But I've been going back and forth with this. Should I just be collecting more altcoins? Because once everybody get into the ETF and they figure out there are other coins and the technology behind the other coins due to Bitcoin, everything's going to trickle down. So I've been going back and forth with myself with that. The coins I am looking at, I'm looking, you know what? This is a lot of people don't talk about this coin, and I've been debating if I should mine it. I've been looking at Bitcoin interest.
yeah, that's something I need to look at as well.
And
It's something that keeps popping up on what to mine. It's always one of the top coins.
yes, it's if all you're doing is basically holding the coins, putting them away, and gaining interest on them. So
Yeah,
I've been looking at that, and I was going to wait until I get my Z9 and mine a crap load out of them,
yeah,
and then stake them and just have them to the side and leave them there for like 2 years. Because a lot of people
yeah,
don't think of long term. In the cryptocurrency space, you have to think long term. That's the only
yeah.
way you're going to make all the profits, because these altcoins, they pop up and down, and maybe once a year. So I've been thinking about that. Look at Zcash. There's not a huge supply of this coin, and I love scarcity.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, who's really using Zcash coins? Because it's private. Like, who in the world is using this? Now I know J.P. Morgan in the U.S. They use Zcash privacy technology.
Right.
So that's one thing. They are on the Ethereum Alliance, but overall, who's using the coins? And that's something I've been trying to find out. And if I can
Well,
find that
this is one of
out,
my.
I'm sorry.
Well, that no, it's okay. This is one of my criticisms. See when you look at a new coin,
Hmm.
this is one of my. I mean, you guys, you'll know just now. If you look on Bitcoin Talk, it's not the most encouraging right now, because there's a lot of kind of scam coins, and
Hmm.
there isn't any filters or rules in place by them to stop all these. There's coins starting from day one, and they're pre-selling masternodes and all these different things. But one of the criticisms I'm starting to become stronger on this, is that every project is anonymous. But then if you look at the white paper, a lot of these coins, I've said to them, I say, check out this project, it's amazing. And I've checked and I've said, there's nothing in the white paper telling you what the coin is for.
Yeah.
It's like 8 pages of you will get a return, you will get a return. I was like, this is just reading like a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme. What's it for? Is it going to be in shops? Is it for the oil industry? Is it for freelancing? Is it for digital? Like, what's it for? There's literally tens of thousands of currencies out there. If you look for them, yeah. And the thing is, I mean, I don't know how many coin market capitalists right now. It's thousands, but there's more out there that isn't even on that. So I think that what I've been looking at is, what will a coin be looked at? What will a coin be used for? But there's so many things to look at. There's so many things that you need to look at, as far as, and I'm looking more at the team and things like that as well. Because you can write anything in a roadmap, write anything in a white paper or a website, and then just not do it.
Yeah.
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 And it's the thing is as well. I do feel, I don't know if this is biased, me saying this, because I don't know if I'm middle aged. I'm the wrong side of 30.
Hmm.
But I do think there's a lot of teams. Bitcoin Private is maybe an example of this. I think Bitcoin. I've liked what Bitcoin Private did. I know the prices went all the way down, but I feel like that a lot of the kind of mistakes of when a lot of these mistakes could probably be credited to the fact that a lot of the people on their team they're all in the early 20s, early to mid 20s, just kind of. And that's the thing, the crypto world, there's a lot of the smartest people are young coders and things like that, but they're perhaps a little bit more emotional, more rash with what they're doing. Where maybe someone with 10 years working experience, life experience, be a little bit different. But when I'm looking at these coins, I'm trying to look between the lines and look at the main guy, look at how he responds and how he interacts with people and how he manages people. But it's time consuming to do this, man. There's so many things to look at. It's
Let me see
and
another. I'm sorry. What you was gonna say?
As soon as you find one coin, oh, this is great, and then you'll say, oh, well, I don't know about this.
Yeah. Well, the other coins I'm looking at, some people are starting to talk about Mithril. Now, Mithril is a coin that's on the social media site Lit. It's more of an Asian-based app. It's more like Snapchat. So
Right, okay.
you take a video, a photo, and it stays up for 24 hours, and it disappears. But when you get likes, you get this coin named Mithril. Now they just came out with the incentive of if you're holding the coins, you can stake them. Now, another cryptocurrency social media, Steam it.
Yeah.
The incentive to hold Steam it, the more Steam power you have, the more Steam you have, the higher
Yeah.
your like is. So
So it's like social media.
yeah, these social
But
media
it's also
coins.
a reward system type of thing where you're getting paid for your.
Yeah,
It kind of
these.
makes sense. If you look on Instagram or Twitter, if you get more shares, more
Hmm.
likes, it means that your content is more useful.
So these social media coins, there's another one called Bella, but it's they're still they need to work on their product. That's supposed to be like Instagram, but I've been getting into these social media coins just to gain as many coins as I can because I can take those coins, sell them from Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and bring them out to cash or hold a Bitcoin or hold Ethereum. So
But
I'm
but
looking.
that's exactly what I'm looking for. Like those coins have a purpose.
Yeah,
They have not just, hey, this is a masternode coin, you'll get profits.
yeah.
They actually have a purpose, and I think we're going to see a lot of big companies just pumping hundreds of millions of dollars into different projects. But these kind of things that could be, these could be what really take over the world as far as social
Hmm.
media, or something to do with games as well. Games is an interesting category as well. I've saw some ones where you play games and then you get a reward, or it's like the
Hmm.
top players get rewarded coins. So a lot of things like that coming as well. Um, a lot of other ones, I think they're just trying to be a general cryptocurrency. But I think I like these kind of application based ones that are used for something. But
Yeah.
what do you do though? Are you profit mining? Are you like just mining the most profitable coin and then converting to
Um,
Bitcoin and then buying the coins you want?
I that's it all depends on the news, like you said. I mine usually Ethereum Classic right now,
Right.
Bitcoin
Yeah.
Go because it's higher in profits. That's my dog. He's just gonna just
No, so,
continue to bark
as
at
it should.
something outside. He's a big boy. Um, yeah. So with my Bitcoin Go, I will mine as much as I can, and I'll sell it for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or other coins that are out there in the market.
Yeah.
Um, how about yourself?
Um, I was mining Savecoin for a while,
Hmm.
and then I was mining Ethereum. I did mine Bitcoin Gold as well,
Hmm.
and I mined a few other ones. I've tested a lot of coins. I tested a lot of Lyra 2Z coins
Okay.
because of the weather. Lyra 2Z is such a cool algorithm. It's ridiculous how little power. It probably uses like 50% the power of other algorithms. It's very
Hmm.
quiet. Your fans don't go hard. Um, but a lot of the Lyra 2Z coins, I wasn't, I was starting to move away from them because of masternode coins, and
Hmm.
they basically pump up really quickly artificially with the price, and then they kind of they nosedive down. And I'm trying to, like you said, I'm trying to invest in longer term projects, or coins. I think 6 months or a year down the line, this could be worth something, or this could be a good project. Um, but yeah, like I keep going back to a few different coins when I'm looking for something, and I try it for a day or two. I mine some coins,
Yeah.
and then I go, nah, 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 and then I kind of go back to. But that's the
um.
thing, because I've probably mined about, I don't even know how many, probably like 20, 30 different coins this year.
Yeah.
And what I always end up doing is eventually when I stop mining it, I just sell the coins because I didn't like what was happening with the project. I didn't like that they were changing what they said they would do, or they just weren't working on it as much. And again, it comes back down to some of these projects will say one thing in the white paper and the roadmap, but then saying one thing and doing it is a different story.
Yeah. What I was gonna say. So since we're on master nodes, I'm hate that I didn't get into Pivx when I first seen it at like 20 cents. I'm just sick of that. But there was another master node I've been looking at, and I've been looking at very strongly. Vivio or Vivio is Vivo.
Right.
Um, they've been out for a while. Uh, the only thing that's happening, like there are so many master notes now that
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
that's
the thing is,
taking
a
away the
lot of the
coins.
masternodes as well, they don't actually have a purpose. You know, it's
Yeah.
not like they're securing anything. It's just a selling point almost. So a few people have mentioned, like, again, I'm a hypocrite with this because I'm looking for long-term projects and
Yeah.
all that. One of the projects I like is Zencash, I really like what those
Mhm.
guys are doing. And they've got secure nodes and they've got super nodes, but their return is low. And that's a good thing. That's really what you want, really, if you think about it from a coins perspective. You know, you don't want it shooting up and then
Yeah.
giving everyone who was there the first few weeks all the coins. You want it to be a slow return over time. But then I started thinking, well, if I've got, you know, the money to get a secure node or a super node, I could buy hardware or I can invest in this coin, which will go up over the next few weeks and make much more money. It's hard because
It's hard. It's hard. It is hard.
you know, there is a good argument. Just follow the Ponzi schemes, get your money, get out,
Yeah.
join another one. Then you become part of the problem rather than the solution. And I'm trying to gear all my focus onto projects that I believe in. So I'm moving away from anonymous coins. Once you know, the projects, they've got all the staff, you know, they're doing interviews, they're legit businesses that are registered. A lot of these other people are trying to protect themselves and they're perhaps scared of being, I don't know, maybe regulation or what. And regulation is definitely going to come in hard over the next few years.
They're coming out hard already.
Yeah.
Before we talk about
I mean,
regulations, what do you think about Pearl Coin? It's
Pearl Coin.
PIRL. They have a master node. Pearl, yeah, they have a master node, but it's like 10,000 coins.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you look at Dash is like $300,000 to get a master node.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've looked at it before. I think I checked out the white paper. It looks quite good. I don't know too much about it. A lot of the time, I'll look at the coin, I'll look at the white paper, I'll just try and. The thing is, you know, someone said that the other day to me, and they said you're very biased towards miners, and I couldn't even argue with them. I am because there's a lot of coins that aren't even on my radar because they're not mineable or the mining return isn't good, and you just move towards the coins that do give you a good return. Long term, if some of the coins I've invested in do well and I cash out some money, I guess it opens up all these different opportunities as to what coins I buy, and maybe I'll be thinking more from a buying perspective rather than, you know, what's the mining return over the next 3 months for me. It does. I am biased. I am because when you're mining, you're looking at coins that you can mine and projects that you can get behind, and that perhaps losing me money because I could just mine mine coins, the most profitable coin, you know, as you say, Ethereum Classic, mine for Bitcoin and then buy the coins that I want. Maybe I need to rethink my whole strategy.
Yeah. At the beginning when I started mining, I think I only had like 3 GPUs, and I was mining up coins to buy another GPU, and I did that.
That's a good strategy.
I did that all the way till I had 6 GPUs. So, yeah, I built that off of just mining coins. So now I'm just taking in profits.
Yeah.
And
that's interesting because it's a legitimate strategy. Or you could do 50-50 or 80-20 or whatever, but it's
and I bought my miners from Newegg. So Newegg takes Bitcoin.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, if you ever want anything computer, Newegg takes it, and yeah, they'll ship it to you.
There's a few in the UK that accept Bitcoin and Litecoin and all that as well. Like a couple of computing shops that accept it, and it just shows you these computing companies they want to get involved as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, for them as well, it must be really good for them because they're not dealing with PayPal and all, you know, all that, all the fees, and this is the thing we sometimes forget, you know, when you're in the cryptocurrency world. This is ultimately what we're trying to get to, the point where we're not going to get screwed over by fees. You know, when I've been working online for years, so I sometimes got like commission checks, and they're nearly always in dollars. And I get screwed in the conversion rate. I get charged like equivalent $20 just for cashing a check.
Yeah.
And from my $200, I end up with like $160. It's the same when I went traveling before. I get money from the USA. I get paid by PayPal, so PayPal would take off $10 or whatever. I'd cash out, they'd give me a terrible exchange rate, and then I would take pounds and deposit it into an account, and then when I was in South America or something, they converted to another currency, the bank would take $3 for the ATM, then they'd take $2 for a charge, and from my $200, I'm walking out with like 170. I'm like, who's getting all this money? It's not like there's someone physically counting out cash and going like, take that to South America. It's just zeros and ones in a computer system. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait for cryptocurrency to be mainstream. But the banks, they're going to have to fight. They'll figure out a way to get fees and all that as well.
So I have a question. So
yeah,
you say you're in Ireland, correct?
Scotland.
Scotland. Okay.
Scotland.
Are there any like rules out there for cryptocurrencies that's like different from the U.S. or is it? Do you think it's basically the same? Like
I think this is the thing, because when I watch a lot of YouTubers, and they'll say things like securities and talk about these, different regulations and all that, and I'm like, well, those don't apply to me. But I think in the UK though, I think at the moment they're still charging it as capital gains tax.
Okay.
But that can be high. But the problem is you've got UK, but then the UK at the moment anyway is still within Europe, and you've got different countries within Europe that are trying to handle it in different ways. So at the moment there doesn't seem to be any agreement between countries in Europe how they're going to handle it, and I suspect it's a difficult thing for them to do, because if they charge too much for cryptocurrency, a lot of the richest people in the country will simply move to the other country.
Yeah.
It's not the poor people, it's not the people down at the bottom that's going to move. They're going to stay where they are. But the people with a lot of money, which is quite frequently the people who are politicians or the people who have, their companies, they will simply move away. So I don't mind paying tax. I want to do it all legally. I think what everyone wants is just a fair taxation system. They don't want to be 50% of their money taken off them, that kind of thing. That it has to be fair. I've seen some of the videos people talking about in the USA, and I realise, I guess there's some parallels there, because every state in the USA has different laws and different taxes and all that in the USA, and they handle it differently. But I saw some people saying that they wanted you to track every single trade. I can't even remember the exchanges I've signed up to. It's like, I've went to trade some coins. I'm like, oh, it's only on this exchange. And I go to sign up and it says that email is already registered. I'm like, all right, is it? I must have traded you before. I'm like, how am I supposed to track all of these trades? Because a lot of time when you're mining, you sign up to where the coins are. You'll exchange it for Bitcoin or Litecoin or even Digibyte or Dogecoin, and then you send it away, and you never use the exchange again. And for me to even, I wouldn't even know where to start as to how to track that. So I think that's what they're worrying about, because they can't track that. The fact they don't know what wallets are installed or how much money people have got, but they have to figure that out. But I don't know how it's going to go over the next few years.
They said like maybe, I don't know, it was a small percentage of people in the United States that paid their taxes on crypto from Coinbase. So Coinbase was subpoenaed, I think, by the U.S. by the IRS to send people who traded on their platform or bought coins on their platform, send their information to them. Now they only got the information for the big fishes.
Yeah.
So I guess it was over like 10,000 or more. Well, that's not the big fishes, but 10,000 or more. So Coinbase usage is going to go down way more, unless it's going to be institutional investors coming in there. There's just so many ways to hide your crypto. I don't think they're going to be able to, because there's no name behind it. There's no name behind it.
But that's it.
Nor,
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I guess Coinbase, if it wants to be a mainstream service, the legit service, it has to go down that regulation route. But if you've got traders and they don't want to be, have any kind of, they don't want the inland revenue chasing them, then they won't use Coinbase. They'll just send it directly to a hardware wallet or a software wallet or whatever. It's not a problem I have right now. It's a good problem to have. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's going to go. It's going to be interesting over the next few years how things progress.
So do we have any questions? We've been talking. Let me see.
No, JC was asking for Portuguese subtitles in the video.
Hold on 1 second.
Good luck getting subtitles for a Scottish person.
Hold on. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Oh man. Portuguese subtitles. Oh, he is from Brazil, so they do speak
Yeah.
Portuguese out there. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't even know how to do that. Is that possible to do that on YouTube?
I think when the video is finished, I think there's an option to add captions and auto translate captions and all that, but I've not found it to be very reliable with my accent. It just comes up the most bizarre words ever. You're like, what?
Yeah, what? Oh man. Okay, so we didn't even get into the questions. So let me
Yeah.
We've just been discussing good information.
Yeah, let's go back. Let's do an official interview now.
Well, I guess we did get into the questions. So actually, I don't even want to talk about none of this. Let's talk about China.
Yeah.
Now, do you think they're going to come out in the future and say we're going to allow cryptocurrencies to flourish because they're holding so much through Bitmain and probably through the government? I don't doubt it if they're not mining Bitcoin right now. So, do you think due to the change of, I think they had a change of their, it's not called a president, but it's called the leader, wherever their leader is. He can change. Yeah, he was pro crypto. I think the guy who just came in. Do you see that changing?
I think they'll remain pro crypto because they've got such a strong hold in it. I think most of the farms are based in China, or there's some in Russia and Eastern European countries as well, where electricity is cheap. I'll be honest, it's not something I've looked into too much as far as the kind of news and what's happening over there. But the whole, everything that's happening in China is scary and exciting at the same time. I've travelled all over Asia, but I didn't get to China. I wanted to go to Hong Kong and Beijing. But the fact that a lot of these big cities, with 10, 15 million people, they were like fishing villages 20, 30 years ago. And just how far they came is unbelievable. As far as Bitcoin and that goes, as far as cryptocurrency goes, I think they recognise that the importance of it long term. And if you think about it that way, I think the rest of the world has been very slow. If you look at it, maybe this is tinfoil hat territory as far as conspiracy theories and all that, but I'd definitely say the USA, most of Europe, a lot of countries in the world, they're still being heavily influenced by media. Media like the Murdoch groups, all these companies that own 70% of the media. They're also influenced by banks, all the large banks, and they decide what happens and what doesn't happen. And they were kind of slow. They were fighting it, cryptocurrency, and trying to stop it before it started. Well, China, by the looks of it, were trying to embrace it, at least from a production point of view. So I don't know if that's going to cost them long term. I don't know. I don't think China would do anything that's going to hurt them economically in the future. And they've definitely got an advantage. I think it'd be different if China was slow, or something happened and people started adopting a different coin than Bitcoin. Maybe they were behind that, or I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here, but it's, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'd love to go over to China and look at these farms and kind of speak to people over there. I think this is the thing from our point of view is, obviously we speak English. If you go over to China, there's probably a lot of fantastic projects that we don't even know about, simply because their website's in Chinese or they're a poorly translated English website. But there's probably fantastic things happening over there as far as innovation and the blockchain and all that. And we don't even see it, or we don't hear about it.
It seems like the cryptocurrency market is growing so much in Asia. And I'm like, this started in the U.S. You
Yeah,
know, the government has to understand that. Well, I guess they do understand that this technology is going to change everything. It's the internet 3.0 or 2.0. I actually went to a oil and gas conference. I want to say like 2 years, say a year ago, and they were Halliburton. You ever heard of Halliburton? They're out there
yeah.
value. These
Was
guys were
that not like
talking, huh?
Dick Cheney and George Bush were all involved in those
Yeah,
guys?
yeah,
Yeah,
Halliburton, red and white. Yeah, these
yeah,
they what do they do? They offer oil field services all over the world.
right.
These guys were um, on top of the game of big data on blockchain. So I saw BP, Halliburton, you know, Neighbors, Chevron. They're all there talking about blockchain technology. And the person who's in charge of the whole event, the major speaker, was from Halliburton. And once they, you know, talk about blockchain technology and get that going down, you know, the US has to see this coming because
Yeah,
the only thing I think they're afraid of is just sharing data between other people in the world. The US um, doesn't want to get audited. You know,
yeah,
the government, because they're spending, our Pentagon doesn't get audited. They spend billions of dollars on whatever they want. So I think
yeah.
that's the one thing that they're scared of, that they don't want the public to see what they're spending money on. And the public, the people who love blockchain technology, sees that the blockchain technology is going to tell the truth. Everybody's going to see it, and we're going to be mad that we're spending our tax dollars on certain things.
Yeah.
That can change elections and everything. So that is the major problem. But the U.S. knows they need this technology to be here, and they can't fight it off.
I think I think as well, a lot of these governments, they just want more direct control over it,
Yeah,
over everything. You know, if you think of it from the past, you know, currencies have always just been issued from the government and have said this is worth $1, £1, €1.
yeah,
And with cryptocurrencies, they don't have a direct stake. They can't influence whether interest goes up or down. And this is the thing. It really fundamentally changes how it all works. The whole system. The system that we work on just now, and I don't claim to be a fantastic economist or anything like that. I just have a basic understanding of it all. But the whole capitalist system is effectively based on debt. You know, so in the UK, if you buy a house, your first house, you go to the bank for a loan. And the way I believe it works is, say you want $100,000 or something, you ask the bank for $100,000. The bank doesn't even take it out its reserves. It adds $100,000 to the total circulation supply, and
mm-hmm.
this is why every year you get inflation and why the effective cost of goods goes up. And I mean, I don't know how cryptocurrency works in with that. They need to control inflation and control things like that. I don't know how cryptocurrency works with that, but I wouldn't say America. I wouldn't say that America is behind as far as cryptocurrency goes. If you look at it online, there's a lot of people doing it. There's a lot of companies working on it. I think there's so much fixation on taxing and trying to get their cut of people making money. There's all this, people are using it for drugs and all that. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
like all these major banks in the world, HSBC, have been proven to take money from the cartels for the last 100 years or whatever. And they've been proven, and they filter trillions of dollars and then pay a $2 million fine or whatever. I think that if you were a small independent country, I'd be worried less about taxation and more about embracing the technology and making sure that your country is set up for it. In the short term, the taxation is a minor issue if you think of all the benefits of what it's going to add. But there's a lot of people with money, a lot of people with influence.
Well, as we see, Venezuela and Iran,
Yeah.
they're both trying to come out with their.
What was the one in Venezuela? Was it petrodollar or something? Or
Yes, the petrodollar is backed by their oil, And then they came out
Right.
with petrogold is backed by their oil, their gold. Now they're trying to come out with like a fiat
Right.
cryptocurrency like Iran. I understand these guys are trying to fight off the sanctions since they can't go through the Swiss bank.
Yeah.
Um, that can be considerable, but man,
Yeah.
there
That's a
is such dictatorship over there that
yeah.
they were gelling people for mining cryptocurrencies.
Yeah. There's someone who watches my channel that's in Venezuela, and they basically have to hide what they're doing. I
Yeah.
think they order their cards from the USA. They order their cards from the USA and get it shipped in, and then they kind of hide their operation. Um, yeah, it's a little bit bizarre, but at the same time, you've got their governments actually launching official currencies. But maybe that's what we'll have in the future. Maybe we'll have US dollar coin, we'll have sterling coin, euro coin, and maybe
Um,
that's the official currency that you have to revert. I don't know. That this is stuff. The next 5 or 10 years are going to be a roller coaster, I think, when it comes to cryptocurrency.
well,
Um,
basically, most of the currency in the U.S. is digital already.
yeah, that's true.
So I don't see them changing too much. People will until the baby boomers like all pass out,
Yeah,
die or something. People like to hold paper money in their hand.
yeah.
So
Well,
I
that's the
don't.
thing. A lot of the time now, if I go to the supermarket in the UK, they've got
Mhm.
contactless. I don't know if you've got something equivalent over there. You're allowed £30 or under, so about 45 or 45, $50 or
Mhm.
so, and you just swipe your card. Boom, you don't have to put in a PIN number. You just put it to the machine and you get what you want. And again, like it actually becomes annoying to hand over money. You're like, what am I doing? What am I going to do with all these coins? You're like, what am I going to? I'm going to carry them about all day. That's the thing. It's been digital for years. As
Mhm.
far as banks, the credit cards, all that. Not like anyone's physically transferring money.
Um.
Um, but as soon as you get, I mean, I think there's a couple of cards come out in the UK as well, in Europe. I'm sure in the USA as well, where it's basically like a Visa card or a Mastercard, but it's crypto, and you can use it to use. That's where we need to go. We need to go to a point where
Well,
it's just easy, just like a bank card,
I uh, I currently have a BitPay card,
right?
so they still charge a little fee, but I use Bitcoin Cash to go through there because the fee of transaction, I think, is coming in. Like they switched it up. Like you can usually send your Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash directly to the card. Due to, I guess, security, they had you send it to their wallet, and then their wallet they transfer over. But it's really really cheap. But you still have to go through Visa, and
Right.
they still have to give you permission to use that card like a yeah, it's like a debit card or prepaid card. So,
Yeah.
but like you said, I wish we can just be straight crypto to crypto. I think the thing that's messed up with that right now is that we can't just go crypto to crypto with Bitcoin due to the time it takes and the transaction fees. Sometimes it could get extremely high. So I'm very surprised these companies are not looking at Dash. Dash is extremely fast.
Yeah.
Dash transaction fees are extremely low. It's just they're a major coin in the cryptocurrency space, but nobody is really using these, using them for merchants, and I think they should look at it just a little bit.
Yeah. That's what I've been looking at as well. With I think we were talking about Bitcoin private. What have they got coming? Is it Bitcoin private keys or
Yeah.
something?
Uh.
Um,
Yeah.
I like the fact there's certain coins. There's some coins that are putting out ATMs where they accept their coin and Bitcoin and Litecoin.
Mm.
Dash is definitely one of the better ones. I like Digibyte as well. Digibyte's quite unique in that they accept ASIC miners and GPU miners, and can't remember how they handle it because I've seen some. This is something I like to see in the mining field where like ASIC miners can still mine, but it's a level playing field. I mean, in theory, GPU miners, CPU miners, ASIC miners should all have a level playing field.
Hmm.
Maybe not CPU miners, but well, I mean, there should be some sort of level playing field so that
Yeah.
someone buying an ASIC machine can't have the power of 50 GPUs. Um, but again, we kind of touched upon this earlier. It is a difficult situation for the developers of coins. I think the mistake that a lot of coins have made that have jumped over to ASICs, because there's a lot of benefits of being powered by an ASIC network as far as efficiency, even distribution. But the problem is, most of these coins, they were supported and developed, and all the way through their journey, the first 6 months of the first year of their life, they were supported by GPU miners, and all the prominent people in the community, the people that are posting every day, are GPU miners. And if they can't mine their coin, ASIC miners, maybe a little bit of stereotype, but they're more just, GPU miners tend to be more hands-on because you have to be. Where ASIC miners, if you buy your ASIC miner, you can set it on, just mine Zcash and just walk away. You're not worrying about Windows or Linux or anything. You just hook it up, set it up to your pool, and you're good to go. And I think when a lot of these coins, if the whole time you were supported by GPU miners, and then you jump to an ASIC mining machine or supporting ASIC miners, then you're going to lose a lot of your community.
You will.
And that can be the difference between people propping up your coin and your coin nosediving because no one wants to support you anymore.
Yeah.
But it's difficult because there are valid reasons to have support for ASIC miners.
It is. It is. It's just a tough subject. Very, very tough subject. Yeah. I think coins that are brand new, they should just stick to ASIC resistance and then lean off of it. But coins who are prominent right now, and they like Zcash right now, they have so much money backing them behind that they can just let the playing fields play out. Yeah,
I think they've obviously annoyed some people because if you look with the announcement of the Z9 Mini, you saw, I think Bitcoin Z and Bitcoin Gold were the first to come out and said, we're GPU coins, we're forking, we're changing the algorithm. Yeah. And kudos to them for doing it. And you could argue that, hey, you should at least look at ASIC miners and look at what they can offer. But they've probably talked about it and discussed it and said, listen, our whole community is GPU miners. If we switch to ASIC miners, all of a sudden we lose all the people that support us, the miners and all that. Yeah. A few people sat on the fence and said, we're going to look at it. And it's not even sitting on the fence. I think you've got a valid reason you should look at the pros and cons. But what Zcash done, I think they're saying now, we're going to look for a solution in 2019. But at that point, you're an ASIC coin, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased, but I think that if an ASIC mining machine can mine your coin for a year or so, you're an ASIC mining coin. And you're not going to get the GPU miners back. So it'd be difficult to get them back.
So, like I was talking about Electronio. They went back to letting ASICs come back onto their algorithm, or I don't know if they changed back or flipped back
so in time. ASICs and then GPU and then ASICs again.
They were they were GPU. Yeah, then ASIC and GPUs, and then went ASIC resistance, and then they went back because they said that. I was reading an article. I should bring it up, but I don't feel like doing that right now. But they said that they talked to the community, they all made a vote, and when they went to GPU mining, they said they were going to have security problems because a lot of people left the network. And then they said, okay, well, we might as well just let the ASICs back on. And that is a problem too. I think, when the prices fall like that, since we saw the prices of the bear market and the GPUs start slowly coming off the market, your security of your coin can go down tremendously.
It's not even coming off the market because the GPU miners are probably still there, but they're just not mining your coin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
And if you've got a high hash rate and it goes down by half or a quarter of what it was before, then all of a sudden you do have to worry about attacks and things like that. I think I've less of a problem with that. I think the team is a difficult decision, and what they do, whatever response or whatever direction they go, it's going to piss off some people. It's going to annoy some people. And I think I've got more support for for the projects to say, listen, we know this is going to annoy some people, but we've decided because of ABC, this is why we're doing it. Like, for example, we support our GPU minis, we want to continue supporting them, or we feel that that enhanced hash rate will make us more secure. I think some of the projects, I think Zcash is probably the biggest example with EcoHash because it's it was the first coin to use ZK snarks, and it's also the most expensive one dollar-wise. I think at one point it was like $450, $500 at one point, or something like that. But I think they kind of went, oh, we're still looking at it. Oh, we're still looking at it. Oh, we'll make a decision next year when we change things. And I do realise that the bigger a project is, it becomes more difficult because if they do change and they don't support ASICs, then you've probably got coins forking and things like that as well. People come out and fork the coin, and then this presents other issues. I just think they should have maybe picked a lane rather than sit in the middle, try to sit in the fence. But it isn't an easy decision to make, though. You're screwed. Whatever you do, you can't please everyone in this situation. You really can't.
So, there's another question I want to talk about. What do you think about these centralized coins like Stellar and Ripple? I've been thinking about investing in Ripple. I really hate Ripple, but it has something.
When I first get into it, I did what most people did. Like last year, I downloaded the Binance app and I bought some Tron and Ripple. I actually made like $10 in Tron, so that makes me an expert. But I think I bought Ripple at like 80 cents or 90 cents, then sold it at 50. It's kind of weird though, because what they're doing is essentially what a country's bank would do. They just say, okay, here's 100 million, that's the price of it, and then let the market decide. And then 10 million goes to the investors. And the thing is that if you saw a coin on Bitcoin Talk, they did that. They said, hey, we've got a 100 million supply, it's out already.
Yeah.
10 million for investors. You were like, what? But they're always in the top 10, aren't they? They're always up there. So what I think a lot of people are forgetting as well, though, is that it is about partnerships as well. It's like partnering with big companies and getting involved with big companies. But I've stopped trying to work out how the market works. I really have stopped. One of the examples I used before was Verge, and you saw a few months ago they talked about Pornhub. They became the official one. And what they did was they teased that we were going to have a big announcement and then said, listen, we need investments for this big announcement, and they still wouldn't reveal what it was. And the price went like from a few cents up to like 12 cents or whatever it was. So like quadrupled in price. They got hacked and then they forked by accident and then had to undo it or something. And despite that, the price went up. And then they announced that they partnered with one of the highest traffic websites in the world, and the price went down. And I'm just like, why is it going up when you get hacked and going down when you announce a partnership? It's the same with like Zencash and a few others. When they've announced support of the Trezor or the Nano, the Ledger Nano, you're like, wow, it's getting hardware support now, and then the price goes down. And you're like, how is this a bad thing? Why is the market seems to be more driven by hype rather than features and functionality? I think over time, though, features and functionalities should, in theory, always win. In theory.
Well,
but in the short term, it's amazing how much these smaller coins can get pumped and get hyped up.
Well, that's how I trade on cryptocurrencies. That's how I learned how to trade. You buy on the new, you buy on the news, and you sell right before they deliver.
Oh, buy the hype. Sell
buy the hype, sell the news. Yes,
I get that mixed up as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so you want to. In the Verge example, you'd want to sell the day before the announcement.
Yes, right. The day before the announcement, I'll sell. And
is that quite consistent then? Do you see that all the time?
Say that again?
Is that quite consistent, like over 10 different projects? And does the price nearly always go down with the news?
Yes, that's how it usually goes. I caught that maybe a year ago, and I've been doing that consistently. For example, that's not a good example. I was going to say when Ethereum said it was supposed to, Casper was supposed to be done for staking, and that's not a good. I'm trying to think of something else. I can think of something right off the top of my head, but
Ethereum's been kind of talking about that for a year or two, though, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, man. Well, actually, there's a question I wanted to ask about that. So once Ethereum, I think in 2020 they said they're going to go to Casper and sharding. Um, all that power GPUs and ASICs, like what is that going to do to the market? Who's going to get all that power? You think it's going to go to Ethereum Classic, or I don't know, any other Equihash coins that are very popular? It might just go all to other algorithms. What do you think about that?
I think the 8 hash algorithm, if you look on what's in my, well, certainly when I put in my GPUs,
Hmm.
and I look at, I don't know if I could actually bring that up. I think this has got a share functionality, isn't it? Let me see if I can use this.
You
So
can bring
when I,
you
if I
can bring
use
it
this,
up on here. You can bring it up on here.
yep,
Just hit the share button.
right, can you see
Yeah,
that?
I can see it.
Right. So if this is for my setup, this is 24 1060s and 610
Yeah.
1080is. If you look at, I mean, look at all those top coins, Ethereum coins. So it's 8 hash, 8 hash, 8 hash, 8 hash, Lida, 8 hash, 8 hash.
Hmm.
Like most, there's so many 8 hash coins there. So I think that, hopefully I can switch back now.
So yeah, I forgot the button.
All right, I'll get it. All right, right. Pause share. Does that do it? Stop share. There we go. Is that me back in the room?
Yeah, we're
Um, right. So yeah. So I think if Ethereum goes proof of stake, I think that we're still going to have several coins on 8 hash. I was actually looking at it recently because in Silicon I've announced an 8 hash miner. Bitmain have got the what's the other one called? I can't remember now.
E3, I think. E3.
E3. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I actually looked at those, when I looked at those from a mining perspective, they're a little bit better than GPUs, but not to the point where you think I'm going to rush out and sell my GPUs and buy them.
Yeah. Not at all.
So I think you'd be better maybe just buying some used AMD cards rather than buying those miners.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the hash power will go somewhere else. Because people with hardware are still going to use it. I think if you look at it, there's a lot of coins using 8 hash, and yeah, 8 hash is fine. 8 hash is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a surprise when you think about it that there isn't more 8 hash ASIC miners because it's one of the major algorithms.
Yeah.
In fact, I guess there is a good argument. Like you were talking about the Z9 Mini. There is still a risk. You don't know how many Bitmain have sold. Bitmain is the only company that knows how many they've sold. They know the block reward of all the major coins, and they know how many coins are up for grabs. And if you look at websites like ASIC Miner Value,
Yeah.
you go down. Maybe it's $20 per day just now. Maybe it'll go down to $10 or $5. But maybe an Ethereum ASIC miner is a safer bet. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's so hard. It's so hard to tell what's going to happen though, because like this year, for example, I saw Monero, and Monero forked because the Crypto Night ASIC miner came out, and there was actually 4 forks within the first month. Like they were all called like I can't remember the names of them all now. I did a video at the time where it was like Monero Classic, Monero, Original, Monero whatever. But it just shows you like when a new ASIC miner comes out, people start mining a different coin, or they fork the original coin, or people still need to use the hardware.
Now,
so
if these ASICs, every time a coin fork and an ASIC makes another model on that, how much technology power is put into forking these coins? Like, is that just going to have to tell the coins, okay, we may have to give up because all they're doing is changing the chip and making a new miner for our algorithm, and it depends on how much money they're paying to fork and make a new algorithm compared to the ASICs making new algorithm ASICs.
I think I guess it's just supply and demand with the market. I mean, if you think about what happened with Monero, I wasn't in the Discord community or anything like that, but I can imagine the conversations have been down, whereas they said, you know, they've got probably thousands. It was a big coin. It was worth a few $100s. I think at one point it was like 300, 400. And I'm talking about fiat again, but that's a good way, you know, realise it is a popular coin. But I suspect when they say, they come out pretty aggressively and said, we're going to fork, you know, we're not going to be an ASIC coin. But I suspect at that time in the communities, a lot of people said, well, no, what's wrong about ASICs? Well, I've ordered an ASIC machine. Well, and then if you've got a lot, you know, enough people out there, there's a demand. And if you think about it, see if you're starting a new project and you know you can get a lot of people interested in your project from day one and get a lot of hash power. You know, say you've got a coin, Britain coin or something, and I want to start rival Kev coin, and you're saying we're going to be ASIC resistant, and then half of your users say, no, we don't want that. I would be like, come on over here. I'll start a coin for you. We'll embrace that. And, you know, it's supply and demand. The whole GPU ASIC mining thing, though, it is a game of cat and mouse, effectively. If you look at what Bitcoin Gold and Safecoin and Litecoin Z, a few of these other coins, Bitcoin Z as well, they went over to Equihash 1445, which is essentially the same algorithm as before, same algorithm, but they've changed the N and K parameters. It's like a mathematical formula, and they've changed it. And what that means is, for 1445, they now need, instead of like half a gig of RAM, a card now needs 2 gigabytes of RAM. And there's some other ones out there that need even more. I can't remember if 192 needs more. But if there's enough demand for it, if there's enough coins on this 1445, and there are now, 6 months down the line, ASIC mining machines or Bitmain might come out and say, well, we've released new ones and now has got 4 gigabytes of RAM in it. You can now mine these coins. You know? But then what happens is they goes back to the project. They say, well, we are, you know, we're going to fork. We're going to put up to 6 gigabytes of RAM, and it's a game of cat and mouse. If the last couple of years has told us anything, is that no algorithm can be ASIC resistant forever.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be possible because, you know, you can design an FPGA, you can design an ASIC mining machine that can do it. It just takes enough time, and you know, if you can design something that's more efficient than GPUs, someone will buy it. I would buy it.
All right. So let me see what's up. Okay, we'll ask one more question, then we'll end this. So, are you staking any coins?
Not at the moment. I was tempted to put some money towards a secure node for Zencash.
Okay.
The only coin I've got just now, I don't know if you've heard of MNX coin. That's kind of like what you were talking about before. See if can I sign in here? See if I can sign in and show you. This is an app they've got. Now, this coin, I've only got like $30 or so. I just did it as an experiment. But essentially what it's got, I don't know if you can see that there, but it's essentially you stake your coins and you get a return every month, like 5% or 70% for the year. The problem is I bought when it was $20 and it went away down to like $5. The whole point of that coin was that you staked it and it was like designed to be smooth growth, which is fine in a bear market, but in a bull run, people aren't looking for stable growth, they're looking for 5 times return. I think the first masternode I'll probably set up will probably be Safecoins. That's coming in a month. I'll probably have a masternode for that. But I would like to cash out some of my coins and do some more. I know someone keeps mentioning a Chroma to me. I might check out that. Yeah, I need to get involved in that because really, if you've got enough masternodes and all that, maybe 6 months down the line, we won't even be talking about GPUs or ASIC mining machines because we're getting enough coins from the block reward just by staking and from masternodes. So yeah, I haven't did it yet. So I need to. This is something I need to look into more.
Yeah.
Have you got it yourself?
Yeah, I'm staking ArcCoin, and I'm staking Neo.
Right, Neo's a good coin, I think.
So ArcCoin. What kills me, I bought into ArcCoin when it was like 20 cents. Right. And I was staking like thousands of coins. And I sold when the price spiked up. When Bitcoin spiked up, I sold to Bitcoin. And when the price settled back down, now ArtCoin is what, $1 or something, or $2? And I'm like, man, I should have kept all those ArtCoins because they're going up in price. But they've had a couple of hackathons in the United
Right.
States and other. I think they invested in a couple of universities too, like what do you call them? Not a regular university, but the higher, like MIT type of university,
Right.
the
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 Ivy League.
Harvard type of, you know what I'm talking about. The Ivy
Yeah,
League.
yeah,
Ivy League. I think
yeah.
they
Ivy League.
invested in an Ivy League school for teaching blockchain technology. But they're always at events and they're always out there. They're just they're just on the low. You know, a lot of people
But
don't talk about them.
that's good though, because I would, over the next few years, and again thinking long term. Long term, I want to
Yeah,
start going to conferences. I want to make good connections, and I want to look at legit projects that are going to these conferences. I don't want to go to people that are anonymous and hiding their
yeah,
project and hiding from everywhere. I want to go to these legitimate projects. I mean, the fact that they're getting involved in universities and sponsoring hacking events, coding events, that's really good. That's really good.
yeah.
That's encouraging.
I
Shows
think
you they've got some money behind them as well.
say that again.
It shows they've got some money behind them.
Yes, yes.
You've got some.
They had an event in New York too, so I think that was very recently. So yeah, check them out. Their staking is kind of different. It's due to delegation. So I guess
Right.
there are people who are running nodes, and you physically don't give them your coins, but you give them
Kind of like
power
a
through your
vouching system.
coins, and the amount of coins they have, it gives them more power to receive coins by running that node. So it's very weird. You should
So it's
check it out.
kind of like a vouching system,
Yes,
or a virtual loan almost.
yes. And one thing I do like about it, you don't have to have the wallet open 24 hours.
Oh,
So
that's good. That's
I
good.
yeah, I just put the wallet on my computer and
So
just leave it
what's the
closed.
return like? What's the return like on a like a daily or monthly basis?
Uh, I haven't checked it out in a while. It depends on the certain amount of coins that you have.
Is that the one that
Uh,
says ARC Tech Advanced Technology Coin?
yeah, it should be red, a red logo symbol. Arc.io, I think. That's the website.
I'm
Let me
looking at
see.
another one.
Let
There's
me see.
another coin that's like ARC.
Arc.io. I'm on my yes. Go to arc.io.
Right. Um, I was looking at ARC there, ARC. I was wondering why there's because the one that I was looking at there,
You
in fact,
should.
I'll bring this up
Can you?
just to
Yeah, I was
show
about to
you.
say, bring it up. Yeah.
See this other one I was looking at there. This just about, I don't know if you can see this here, right? But this other one here, right? ARC, right? Advanced Technology Coin,
Yeah.
right? They've
No.
got nodes and staking as well.
No,
So this,
no,
I was getting so confused that I'm like,
no.
right, so it's ARC with a K, ARK. Yeah. Yeah, I have seen this before. So that could be a good price to get in it just now then.
Yeah. They want to be able to have a technology where they're connected to all the blockchains.
Right,
So you can switch coins from maybe Ethereum going to Bitcoin, or you can switch documents coming from Neo to Ethereum. They just wanted to be able to be a connector through all the
right.
blockchains, so, which is
Is
pretty cool.
it 100% proof of stake or is it
Yes, I
right?
don't think
Okay,
there's no mining at all.
right. It could be worth me mining some Ethereum for a few weeks and then just converting Ethereum for ARC.
Yeah,
Try it out. That's a good idea. I like that. I like the fact that you don't have to keep the wallet open.
yeah, and I was staking a couple of coins that I had to keep a wallet open, like Stellar and OK Cash, but anything can happen to that piece of that piece of hardware you have, and it can go down, and then you
Well,
have
it's
to.
not just that. I mean, leaving a computer on with a wallet
Yeah,
on 24 hours a day, is,
it
from a
sucks.
security point of view as well, it's I'd
Yeah,
rather have a wallet and then delete some of the files and put it to an
yeah,
encrypted drive. Or it says here this is actually supported by the Nano. That's good.
yeah. It's a
Um,
great project, great project. I'm going to keep holding in this project for a very long time.
yeah, that looks good. I'll maybe do that with the Nano. Put some coins in the Nano.
Hmm.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I'll need to check that out.
So, well,
I
I
can't see it's a dollar just now. $1 just now.
okay, yeah.
And you
I'm
got it
mad.
twice.
When I bought it, it was like 24, 22 cents, and I was like,
Oh, that wasn't even a
and I
while ago.
sold.
That was like in May or June.
Yeah, man, it was a while ago. Uh, but yeah, we have to end this because I got to get on out of here. I got to go
No, I'm the
do
same. I
some
need to go and
soil
do some work.
sampling.
No,
So,
thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it. It's been good.
all right, everybody. Well, everybody who's going to watch this, make sure you guys go subscribe to Kev's Crypto channel. He's talking about mining most of the time, which is great, and he talks about different parts you can put on your mining rig or something to make your miners more powerful or just anything with algorithms. That's the man to go over there and watch his channel. Me, Brit VR, I talk about mostly news and how to earn more crypto. I will. I'm making some upgrades to my website, guys. I'm going to make all my videos free on my website so you guys can learn how to make extra crypto. It's going to take me some days, so I'm just going to change all my videos and make brand new videos. So remember, it's BritVRCrypto.com. And other than that, Kev, you want to say anything to everybody on my
Oh
channel?
well, thanks for introducing me to this software because Skype wasn't working for me before. I'll definitely need that. I'll definitely try that software out. It works really well, and I'll have to get you on my live stream as well.
Okay.
So I'd love to keep in touch. I'd love to even jump on your channel again. You can jump on mine. It's good to bounce ideas off each other because
Yeah.
what I find as well is that I read cryptocurrency news. I chat to people about cryptocurrency, but then speaking to you today, you're talking about so many coins that I'm not even aware of. They're not even on my radar, and it's fantastic just you introducing me to new coins. It's almost like you did all the research for me, so I don't have to worry about it. So it's good. It's good to connect with fellow other people in the cryptocurrency world. So thanks for having me on. I really do appreciate it.
All right, guys. We'll see you later. Hold on one second, Kev.